I actually want to ask you this because, we spoke a little bit about the youth of today and sort of the attitude. Not to dwell on this too much, but we're in a particularly trying time, I'll say, to sort of speak lightly on it, in America. There's some social upheaval. The young black men are angry. There's a reason for them to be angry. As legends, as people who can speak to the youth about how they feel, what is your opinion, or what message would you have for the youth? And particularly, I was curious to know, how much did it hit home to find that a man in Carolina was shot by the police named Walter Scott?
I wish I could tell you how many calls I got.
I believe you.
Because people first were riding in their cars and heard it on the radio and didn't see it on television. My buddy Eugene called me. But you know what, man? When you've been around for as long as we have, that was nothing new to us. Yeah. What I really applaud the young people for, they do have their leaders. I take John Legend, for instance. He's very vocal about civil rights, about being inactive, about what's going on in today. But the only thing, when you're young and immature, you kind of want to act first and talk later. Yeah. That's the only thing. Remember, you can always get things going when you talk. Well, if you get violent, you can't accomplish anything. But it's here, man. It's been here for a long time. And I think our young people are bringing it to the forefront. They're letting the world know it's been happening for a long time, and we're not going to let it keep happening anymore. I applaud them for that.
I got to agree with you on that, man.
So the point, though, is that, like Walter said many years ago, black men have been getting choked out. And, you had the chokehold that they had to wind up banning from police departments. That's right. The only reason why I think it's so prevalent now that you're seeing it is because, once again, we have technology. You have technology. Everybody has a phone today. There's a camera on every freaking corner right now today. And the bad part about it is that, as a black man, this is the first time in my life I've ever been in fear of being pulled over by the police department. Wow. So now when I get pulled over, the first thing I do is reach down and get my phone and start the camera. I never had to do that. And then I make sure I pull in a place that's well lit. It could just be a traffic violation or something like that. So if they didn't have social media and all of the things that they have today, they would still be getting away with it. Now it's come to light.
You know what, man, let me say this too. And once again, I'm talking about young people. Our music in our day, and to this day as we speak, revolved around romanticism. We like love, R&B, that's what we sing about. The rappers are graphic. They tell it like it is. Right. And while that might be, make some people mad, they're telling the truth, man, And they're bringing it, they're putting it out there because they can only talk about what they see. So don't get mad at them for basically telling what's really going on. Yeah. We had a way of dealing with a love song in mid-tempos. We were romanticism. No doubt. We still that's what R&B is all about. But the new music, man, hey, it's romantic, but it's speaking the truth.
Right. Yeah. Well, I got to thank you guys for this because, every Whispers record I listen to is such feel-good music. There's so much funk. There's so much soul. I'm going to get into it right now. I got to have my little fanboy moment. So I want to go once around the horn and ask you guys your favorites. I could go on and on all day about how, let's see, you had it right there. Love is Where You Find. That's my favorite Whispers album. I'm just in love with, oh, man. Favorite song, I'm going to probably have to go with I Can Make It Better. There's a long story behind that, but it's so funky. Just so funky. And I got a favorite moment. This one you're going to like. I got a favorite moment in Whispers history, so I got to ask you guys what yours are. But
that's incredible. Yeah.
Man. Well, check this out.
Silvers would love to hear that.
Is that right?
Yeah, he wrote that, man. We loved it at the time, too. I'm telling you.
How about this? The second verse of Keep On Loving Me, especially, who does the jump in the video? I jumped out of bed. Who does that little jump step? Was that Walter or Scotty? You don't remember which one it was?
Might have been me.
Okay, listen. You still got a grown man jumping, all right? Every time I jumped out of every time. I sing that song to my 1-year-old daughter on a regular basis. I just think it's so cool. You're walking around in the suits in the streets and what? I'm telling you, man. So, a favorite song, album, or moment in Whispers history from each of you guys.
My favorite album is basically The Whispers, and you have it here.
No doubt.
Yeah,
he's gonna find it. It's in there.
Yeah. And actually, for me, the reason why it was my favorite was because it actually, like most people go to college for their PhD and stuff like that. But this was,
Sorry.
no problem. You just bust me in the face. That's okay.
I was beating up my favorite artist. This Whispers, right?
The Whispers, and it was like getting our PhD. This was our first gold and platinum album, so it actually solidified us and let us say, okay, we can do this. We can have success at this, because before this album came out, we were, I think the year before that, we worked 2 days and was trying to decide whether or not we wanted to even stay in the business. Yes.
Unbelievable to me.
Song, man. For me, we all got different ones, but we had the opportunity to see a young Donny Hathaway in his prime. He left such an impression on me and Scotty in particular. We did the song for Donny.
People speak your name and think what a shame you gone.
So that's one of my favorites, because we get the opportunity, in singing in that song, we get to let the world know what a great artist he was. So that's one of my favorites.
I love that. I love paying homage in my music too. That's the first cut on this album, actually. So that's 2-0 for the Whispers. What about you, Scotty?
I'm gonna close it out with, and I hate you don't have it, because I know that's the one album that you don't have. But the last album we did was called No, For Your Ears Only, and there's a song on there that called Whispers Love You Too. If you ever get a chance to hear that, when you hear it, you'll understand why it's my favorite.
Each and every one of you.
It's Caldwell.
Okay, who's written some of the baddest joints that Say Yes and Lady, and I was so looking forward to asking him about that. Is Thankful the last full-length album that you guys put out?
Yeah, the gospel. That's the first and only gospel album that we've ever done, yeah.
Are you guys recording? Will there be another Whispers album that fans can get a hand on?
Yes, most definitely.
A couple of, man, and you said it's at 27.
Oh, yeah,
Wow. Well, I saw some CDs out there I'm going home with, that's for sure. February 18th, 2016. I love how you guys are booked so far in advance, man. I'm so excited. Finally back in Toronto, my hometown. OLG slots at Woodbine. First of all, when last did you perform in Canada? Because
a few months ago, we were there. We came up with a
Few years now. Well, not a year.
I don't know. Was it? No. Where's the falls at?
Niagara Falls. If you guys are in Toronto and I didn't know, I'm going to be real.
No, it wasn't a year ago. We were in Canada, yeah. What's it, Faith Evans was there with us, and yeah, about a year ago, yeah.
And that was in Toronto?
Yeah, had fun, man. It was a festival there, yeah.
Nobody was there but us, but because they had so many acts going on there, and they had a lot of free concerts going on in Canada at the time. So the promotions on it wasn't done that well. So
That would explain why I wasn't there, fellas. I'll tell you now.
We're gonna make up for it in February. Take my word for it.
Well, you just answered my last question right there. Is finally back in Toronto again, February 18, 2016. What can your fans in Toronto expect from the Whispers when they get up there to rock steady, baby?
We gonna be rocking steady, straight ahead R&B. We don't make no bones about it. Old school R&B. That's what we gonna be doing.
and we're just basically going to be letting them know how much we appreciate them, and the only way that we can is through our show.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I got to let you guys know how much I appreciate this. This is many years of letting my brother know what I wanted for Christmas, looking in every record store, going online to find them. And as you know, my collection is not done, and I'm going to continue it tonight. But thank you a million times over. Scotty, you guys are absolutely unbelievable to me, man.
To have a young guy that looks like he's about 8 years old be a staunch fan of the Whispers, man, that speaks volumes. We appreciate that, brother.
Well, I appreciate it. Believe me, there's a lot of music that I made I'm going to make sure you guys leave with, because you've been an influence to me. And I can tell you going forward, man, I'm going to continue not just to support you, but to support good music, because, this is what our planet needs, man, especially in times like now, like what we spoke about earlier. This is what makes me feel good, really, at the end of the day, man. And I thank you guys for all the blessings of all your great music for so long, man. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Danny O. You can check me out at DannyO.com. And to see the Whispers on tour, be sure to check them out at thewhispers.com. Legends, baby. Good music all day long. Keep rocking steady.